You're very welcome back to your Thursday morning Ireland AM. It's time for a mid-morning treat, and I don't mean Eric.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That was fantastic. I'm blushing.
Gorgeous.
I'm blushing. Here to whip us up. Here to whip us up some delicious sorbet is Erin Bunting, and I'm very, very excited. Not just because of this, but also that comment. That's made my
we're
day.
going to make some beautiful blushing sorbet, a gorgeous pink colour. So we're going to make a strawberry and elderflower sorbet, making the most of the season. Strawberries, Irish strawberries are in season. Beautiful elderflower is in season in the hedgerows. And to do that, it's very simple to do, but we're going to start by making a sugar syrup, which is basically equal quantities granulated sugar and water.
Very simple to do, and then proceeds to say that sentence.
You lost me at the end of simple.
Yeah.
So this is, so I've got granulated, well, basically all we have here is granulated sugar. I'm going to pour on the same quantity of boiling water, and I'm just going to give it a quick stir to get the sugar dissolved. And then we're going to infuse the sugar syrup with elderflowers. So have you guys, you must have had elderflower cordial before?
Oh, yeah. No.
I've never experimented with flowers in my own cooking.
I don't. Is there actual flowers in it in the elderflower cordial, or is it just not a flavouring?
It's made with actual flowers,
Real
but
flowers.
the flowers are strained out after it's infused, so which is basically what we're going to do. So we've made our little sugar syrup. I've got gorgeous little elderflower that I picked yesterday here. It's got a lovely kind of like sort of slightly citrusy, slightly floral, slightly musky scent. And when you pick them, I've got a wee example here of what they look like growing on the tree.
Oh,
Obviously, make sure you know what you're picking, but you can tell by the scent. They have a really here.
You see, I wouldn't. I'd go out and
They
gather a
smell
bit of
like
moss.
they smell like elderflower.
Yes, exactly. So it smells like elderflower. Don't pick a flower that doesn't smell like elderflower.
I don't
Yeah,
have a
go
sense.
for that.
I don't have a sense of smell. No,
But when you're making the syrup, you don't want to have too much stock in it. So you want to like mostly just have flowers. So I've picked the little flowers off. I've put a few little strips of lemon zest in there just to get a little bit of extra like gorgeous citrusy flavour. You can just use a little potato peeler and peel those bits off the lemon. And then I'm just going to pour over the hot syrup. Give that a little stir just to get everything mixed in. And then I would leave that for a couple of hours to infuse.
That's a bowl I wouldn't lick at the end. No, you're making the Rice Krispie cakes.
Yeah, what are you?
You'll be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So you leave it for a couple of hours or overnight. You could do it the day before, leave it in the fridge overnight. And this is the one I prepared yesterday. And then in order to make the sorbet, I'm just going to strain this syrup. And I'm straining it through a sieve, just lined with a little bit of kitchen roll, just to catch any little bits of plant that we don't really want in the final sorbet.
Would the elderflower be grown wild, or would people be growing it in the gardens?
So it is quite often. You quite often see it in people's gardens like a shrub, but more often in hedgerows. So I would say if you live in the countryside or something, you just driving down in among the hedgerows, you'll see an elderflower bush. It's really distinctive at this time of year. It's hard to spot the rest of the time of year, but when it's got these gorgeous little flowers,
yeah.
and it's quite a short season. Its season is sort of mid-May to kind of the end of June. So it's just exactly in season now.
I love it. Okay, and
So
it's
we're just gonna
you'd
strain
only
that.
be using those sort of blooms for the syrup. Not you wouldn't be able to use the rest of the plant. No.
No, the rest of the plant actually is toxic, so you only want to use the flowers.
Good to know. Good to know.
Good to know. So that's why we have to pick that's why we have to pick the
You chewing on it there?
So we've got some I've just like really roughly chopped the strawberries here. So just take the little stalk bit out, cut them in half, throw them in the blender. We've got about 450 grams of strawberries here. I'm going to pop in about a quarter of the syrup, and then I'm going to give it a quick blitz.
Strawberries look gorgeous.
They do.
Okay. This is like perfect time of year for them. Just get it blitzed up a bit. Then once it's kind of mostly blitzed, we're going to pop the rest of the syrup in, and I'm also going to pop in the juice of a couple of lemons just to kind of give it a bit of acidity. Strawberries are really sweet and gorgeous, but sometimes don't have that little bit of sharpness that you need to kind of really, it helps bring out the flavour of them. So I'm just popping a little bit of lemon juice as well. That was the juice of about 2 lemons. And then we just give it a wee blitz. And then we're basically, look at the colour, so great. So we're basically done. Probably blitz it for a wee bit longer if we weren't on TV, but since it's making a large noise. And then in order to make obviously this just looks like a smoothie. In order to make this into a sorbet, we've got a couple of different options. So you can either put it in an ice cream maker, and churn it, but not everybody has one. So if you don't have an ice cream
plenty of
maker,
houses that have bought the ice cream maker in the middle aisle of one of the retailers. It's like, we'll use that. We might use that now.
if you've got it, mouldering in the back of the cupboard somewhere, the ice cream maker. So if you don't have an ice cream maker, what you can do is you can pop it into a little freezer-proof container like this. I've just used a little loaf tin, and then pop it in the freezer for about 45 minutes, and you'll see it started to freeze.
Yeah.
And then what you need to do is just use your fork, break it up, break up the ice crystals, give it a really good stir, and then you pop it back in the freezer. And then you just need to do that a couple of times, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, about every 45 minutes. So it is a little bit of
It's a bit of work involved.
Well, it's a little bit of work, but it's not. You're not having to do loads of. It's not like this only takes a couple of minutes to do. Or not
And why are you breaking it up? It's for the texture of the sorbet.
Yeah, so it's for the texture of the sorbet. So this will make it nice and fluffy and light, and also not have big ice crystals. You know, the way if you froze something, it would be like kind of
Solid,
crystallized. Yeah. So you just break it up like that, pop it back in the freezer. You've broken up those big ice crystals, and
We have to have a quick taste of this now before you
we're
go. I'm
we've got
dying
30
for this.
seconds left. Smelling me flowers over here.
put that back in the freezer, and then we scoop. And I've actually made a little elderflower biscuit to go with it as well.
Yes.
So give you a quick scoop. So this is the sorbet that I made yesterday. Obviously, it's fully frozen now, a little bit.
Yeah, that texture looks fab.
Just do 1 each, I think.
One will do us.
And then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of elderflower on top.
Look at that for
And serve it with a
presentation.
little-
10-10.
Stunning.
Serve it with the little
Thank you so
elderflower
much.
shortbread that's just made with a wee bit of elderflower sugar, which just
Thank you very
crushed
much.
up together.
And a gorgeous little
See what you think?
fresh shortbread as well.
Yeah, the
Stunning.
shortbreads, yeah. So I've just made a little bit of elderflower sugar by combining some icing sugar, looks like this, crushing it together in a mortar and pestle with some elderflower flowers, and then using that in a normal kind of shortbread recipe.
Oh, the strawberry and the elderflower go so well together. That is absolutely gorgeous.
And
Not too sweet. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's really good for, this hot weather. If you want to give the kids something that doesn't have too many, nasties in it. It's basically fruit, and there is a bit of sugar in it, obviously, but it's much better than, some of the ice lollies or ice creams that are
Beautiful.
manufactured.
Lovely and fresh. And a little bit
Amazing.
lighter as well. Erin Bunting, thank you so much for joining us
You're
this
so
morning.
welcome.